These small dollar coins are oftentimes overlooked for coin varieties, but here are some of the most valuable coins that you can look for. We'll start off in 1979 with the much maligned Susan B. Anthony dollar, one of the most short-lived series in US mint history, having only been minted for 4 years. The coin we want is the 1979 Philadelphia Mint dollar. In this year, 2 main varieties exist. The normal coin, which is also known as the narrow rim or far date variety, and our variety, which is the wide rim or near date Susan B. Anthony dollar for 1979. This was a minor design update for the issue, where the rim was slightly widened, making it appear as though the date is closer to the rim. The effect of this can most easily be spotted on the 1 of the date, where on the wide rim coin it is very close to the rim. But on the narrow rim or the far date coin, there is significantly more space in between. Now, of these two, the wide rim or the near date variety is definitely the scarcer of the two. And in 2025, a PCGS graded MS67 Plus example of this variety was sold at auction by Great Collections for an absolutely astounding $8,268. Although I should probably note that this is an unusually high price for the finest known example of the type. Normally, the prices are a little more down to earth for this type of variety. Then we move on to the proof coin variety that you can look for on the Susan B. Anthony dollar, and the first of these is a coin that you can find in your 1979 proof set, as 2 distinct and different S mint marks were used in this 1 year. These are known as the Type 1 and Type 2 mint marks. Now, of these 2, the Type 2 is the one you actually want to see, as that is the rare one that is consequently worth more. The Type 1 coin is also known as the filled S mint mark, and the Type 2 is known, or sometimes referred to, as the clear S. The reason for this becomes rather obvious once you compare the two side by side. As you can see, the Type 1 S mint mark was becoming a little bit worn out, and the mint decided to replace it mid-year in favor for the newer Type 2 S mint mark in order to produce a clearer S mint mark. The effect of this is best observed inside the cavities formed by the roundings towards both the top and bottom of the S. Now, to be honest, this is not exactly the most popular variety out there, and as a result, the prices are fairly subdued. Even so, in 2021, a PCGS graded Proof 70 Deep Cameo example of the Type 2 coin was sold at auction by Great Collections for $393. And then in 1981, an almost identical situation repeated itself once again, where the US Mint decided to replace the S Mint mark mid-year on the proof coins, leading to yet again a Type 1 and Type 2 mint marks for the 1981 S proof Susan B. Anthony. And this one can be a bit trickier, as the difference is not as immediately obvious as it was with the 1979 coin. In my experience, the best way to spot the two is to look at the respective serifs of the two S letters. On the Type 1 coin, the serifs will be a little more rounded in nature, along with the rest of the lettering as well. And then, when you know, especially when you compare it to the Type 2 coin, coin, where the top of the letter, especially on the serifs, is a lot more flat in comparison. So you'll notice the same effect on the bottom roundings of the S as well in both cases. And again, in this case, the Type 2 coin is scarcer than the Type 1, though again values for this type remain somewhat subdued compared to more fantastical varieties. For example, in 2026, a Proof 70 Deep Cameo graded coin from PCGS was sold by Heritage at public auction for $228. And then, of course, the vigilant coin collector should always be keeping an eye out for error coins. And probably the most famous Susan B. Anthony dollar error coin is a transitional error, where a Susan B. Anthony dollar was struck onto a Sacagawea dollar planchet in 1999, resulting in an Anthony dollar that has the unusual golden coloration. These are extremely rare, and only a small handful of these coins have been discovered, one of which was sold by Heritage all the way back in 2006, graded by PCGS as MS64 for $16,100. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to watch a video about the top 50 modern variety coins right here. Next, for the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.